remembering those that perished on the sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15, 1912. The information provided was obtained and used from findagrave.com. This video contains passengers with the last name starting with G. The remaining passengers will follow shortly. The Gale family. Brother, Harry Gale, age 37. Brother, Shadrach Gale, age 33. The brothers were born in England. Shadrach resided in Colorado and returned home to visit family. He encouraged his brother Harry to immigrate to Colorado with him to work as a miner. The brothers boarded the Titanic and were third-class passengers. They both perished in the sinking and their bodies were never recovered. Harry and Shadrach's cenotaph is located in England, on their parents' headstone. The membership of Woodmen of the World erected a memorial to Shadrach in Colorado. The next victim is Martin Gallagher, age 29, born in Ireland. He immigrated to New York and successfully built his own business. Martin returned to Ireland to reunite with his sweetheart, whom he planned on taking back to New York and marry. He inspired his friends to immigrate as well. Martin was a hero, rousing passengers from their cabins, leading them to the lifeboats, saving his fiancée and two of his friends. He is memorialized on a plaque in their native village. The next victim is John Garforth, age 22, born in England. His occupation was listed as a shoemaker. John was a third-class passenger and his body was never recovered. His cenotaph is on a plaque, located in England, inside a church. The next victim is William Alfred Gaskell, age 18, born in England. He boarded the Titanic, along with his travel partner, and were in second class. They were both gay passengers and were traveling to Canada. William perished in the sinking and his body, if recovered, was never identified. He is remembered on his parents' tombstone in England. The next victim is Lawrence William Gavey, age 26, born in Guernsey. He was a second-class passenger and was traveling to New Jersey. Lawrence perished in the sinking and his body, if recovered, was never identified. The next victim is Arthur Henry G., age 47, born in England. He drowned while trying to get into a collapsible lifeboat during the sinking. Arthur's body was later recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 275. He is buried in England in an unmarked grave, no headstone. The next victim is Stanio Georgiev, age unknown, born in Bulgaria. He was a third-class passenger and traveling to Montana. Stanio's body, if recovered, was never identified. The next victim is Victor Gayton Andrea Giglio, age 12, born in England. He was the valet to Benjamin Guggenheim. Victor perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. The next victim is William Gilbert, age 47, born in England. His body was never recovered or identified. William's cenotaph is located in England. The next victim is Ralph Giles, age 24, born in England. He was a second-class passenger, and his traveling remains a mystery. Ralph perished in the sinking and his body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 297. He was interred in Canada on May 8, 1912. The next victim is the Giles family. Brother, Edgar Giles, age 19. Brother, Frederick Edward Giles, age 20. They were both born in England. The brothers were booked on the Oceanic, but due to the coal strike, they were transferred to the Titanic. They were traveling to New Jersey, where their other brother lived. Edgar and Frederick perished in the sinking. Their bodies, if recovered, was never identified. The next victim is Eliezer Jelinski, age 22, born in Lithuania. His occupation was listed as a locksmith. Eliezer was a third-class passenger and his body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 47. Eliezer was buried at sea on April 21, 1912. The next victim is John Gill, age 24, born in England. His occupation was listed as a chauffeur. John, 2 months into his marriage, boarded the Titanic as a second-class passenger. His destination was not known, but the intention was to set up homestead in America. John's body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 155. He was buried at sea on April 24, 1912. The next victim is William Henry Gillespie, age 31, born in Ireland. He worked at an award-winning carpet-making business. William was a second-class passenger and was traveling to British Columbia on business. He perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. William's cenotaph is located in Ireland. The next victim is Hans Christensen Givard, age 27, born in Denmark. He was traveling to North America and did not let his family know. Hans had immigrated to the United States before and didn't want to say farewell to his mother again. He perished in the sinking and his body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 305. Hans' belongings were sent home. A relative took care of his watch and tried to make it go by shaking it, but without success. He threw it away as worthless. Hans was buried in Canada on May 10, 1912. The next victim is George B. Goldschmidt, age 71, born in New York. He served as a corporal in the 22nd New York Infantry. George perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. His cenotaph is located in New York. The next victim is Frank John Goldsmith, age 33, born in England. His occupation was listed as a toolmaker. Frank boarded the Titanic along with his wife and son. They were third-class passengers. Frank perished in the sinking, but his wife and son survived. The next victim is Nathan Goldsmith, age 40, born in Russia. His occupation was listed as a shoemaker. Nathan was a third-class passenger and was traveling to Pennsylvania. He perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. The next victim is the Goodwin family. Father, Frederick Joseph Goodwin, age 42. Wife, Augusta Tyler Goodwin, age 43. Daughter, Lillian Augusta Goodwin, age 16. Son, Charles Edward Goodwin, age 14. Son, William Frederick Goodwin, age 13. Daughter, Jessie Alice Marie Goodwin, age 12. Son, Harold Victor Goodwin, age 10. Son, Sidney Leslie Goodwin, age 1. They were all born in England. The family borrowed the funds from several family members. They booked on another steamer, but due to the coal strike, they were transferred to the Titanic and boarded as third-class passengers. The entire family perished in the sinking. Sidney's body was the only one that was recovered. There is a memorial for the Goodwin family in a church located in England. Sidney was originally identified as the unknown child. He was one of the first bodies recovered by the Mackay Bennett, a small fair-haired boy. The sailors involved in the recovery were so moved that when no relative came forward to claim him, they personally escorted Sidney's coffin to Fairview Lawn Cemetery and paid for a large monument in memory of the unknown child. Sidney was the only one buried that day on May 4, 1912. Sidney's identity remained a mystery for decades. In 2008, improved DNA analysis by Canadian researchers positively matched his remains to the surviving family members. The next victim is George Edward Graham, age 38, born in Canada. He was married and his wife suffered a miscarriage. He was reluctant to leave her alone, but he booked a trip on the Titanic for business. George was a first-class passenger and was accompanied by several traveling salesmen. He perished in the sinking and his body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 147. A list of clothing and effects are provided on his obituary. When his wife passed away, she requested to be buried next to her infant son. The Graham family had George's body exhumed, and he was reinterred with his wife and son in Canada. The next victim is George Henry Green, age 40, born in England. He was a third-class passenger and he perished in the sinking. George's body was never recovered. His cenotaph is located in England. The next victim is Samuel Greenberg, age 53, born in Russia. He was a second-class passenger and was traveling to New York. Samuel perished in the sinking and his body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 19. He was buried in New York. The next victim is Daniel Danielson Gronestad, age 32, born in Norway. His occupation was listed as a general laborer. He was a third-class passenger and his body was never recovered. The next victim is Robert Guest, age 22, born in England. He boarded the Titanic under the name Stephen Guest and is also known as Charles Robert Guest. He was a third-class passenger and he perished in the sinking. Robert's body was never recovered. The next victim is Benjamin Guggenheim, age 46, born in Pennsylvania. He was married and had 3 daughters. Benjamin was a first-class passenger and was traveling with several people. Benjamin and his secretary surrendered their lifebelts to a ship's steward and returned back to their cabins to change into formal attire. Benjamin stated, "We've dressed in our best and we are prepared to go down like gentlemen." The next victim is Alfred Ocean Gustafsson, age 19, born in Finland. He was a third-class passenger and was traveling to Illinois. Alfred's occupation was listed as a general laborer. He perished in the sinking and his body was never recovered. The next victim is the Gustafsson family. Brother, Anders Wilhelm Gustafsson, age 37. Brother, Johan Berger Gustafsson, age 28. The brothers were born in Finland and boarded the Titanic along with their sister and her husband. Brother-in-law, Carl Gideon Gustafsson, age 19, born in Norway. They were third-class passengers and was traveling to New York. The sister survived the sinking, but her husband and 2 brothers did not. Johan and Carl's bodies were never recovered. Anders' body was recovered by the Mackay Bennett and listed as number 98. He was buried at sea on April 24, 1912. If you like this content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel at MeTime806. Thank you very much.